Hello guys, welcome back to Ignite Careers YouTube channel. In this series of Python programming tutorial, today we will cover the fundamentals of Python programming, including basic program constructions, directives and variables. Whether you are a beginner or just need a refresher, this is for you. Let's dive in. Python is known as an interpreter language, unlike compiled languages like C or C++, where the source code is translated into machine code before execution. Python code is executed line by line by the Python interpreter. When you write a Python code and run it, the Python interpreter reads each line of code, interprets it, and executes the corresponding instructions. When you run a Python script, the Python interpreter first passes the code to identify its structure and syntax. Then it generates bytecode, which is a low-level representation of the code that the interpreter can understand and execute. Here's a simple Python script. As you can see, it consists of statements and function definitions. Let's see how the interpreter executes this code. So, yes, this is our function that calculates area by taking two inputs like length and width. It basically just multiplies those values and it returns that value. We'll cover in depth about functions in later video. So as of now, I'm just explaining how code execution works. Then the main function takes two input from users, which is length and width. Then it executes the calculate area function and stores in a variable of area. Then it prints out the calculated area to the console. So these both are functions, and here we are calling the main function which calls both both main and calculate area functions. So now let's quickly run this code. Setting up Python in Visual Studio Code has been a separate video has been made for this. Check in our YouTube channel. To run this code, just go to run and start debugging. Now, in this code, we have requested two inputs from user's terminal. Like one is for enter the length of the rectangle. So I am giving it as 5. Then the second input was enter the width of a rectangle. So for this, I'm gonna give 3. So it calculates the area of a circle, which is nothing but an product of length and width that we provided in the terminal. So this is a simple Python script. Now, you might be wondering what happens in the background of the system while the Python code is being executed. Behind the scenes, the Python interpreter interacts with the operating system and the computer hardware. It manages memory allocation, handles input and output operations, and coordinates with the system to execute the code efficiently. Let's look at an example of memory allocations in Python. So, this is a simple Python example for memory allocation. When you create a variable in Python, the interpreter allocates memory to store their values. This memory management process is crucial for ensuring that the program runs smoothly and efficiently. So, for each variable, it generates a memory address. So, let's quickly run this code and see what address has been created for the 3 variables which of type integer, float, and string. So this is the memory address that has been allocated for those variables. In summary, Python is an interpreter language where code is executed line by line by the Python interpreter. Understanding how the interpreter executes code and what happens in the background of the system can help you write better Python program and optimize their performance. Now let's delve into preprocessor directives in Python. exploring how they work and how they differ from other languages like C or C++. Unlike languages like C or C++, Python does not have preprocessor directives in the traditional sense. In those languages, preprocessor directives are used to manipulate the source code before completion, performing tasks such as including header files or defining macros. In C or C++, preprocessor directives start with hash or and are, and are processed by the preprocessor before the code is compiled. However, Python does not have a separate preprocessor phase, so there are no preprocessor directives in Python in the same way. I'll just quickly create a new file. Let's take a look at an example. In Python, to import a module named math, which provides mathematical functions, we simply use the import statements, that is, import math. Now, we can use functions from the math module. For example, we can print the square root of 25 into the terminal. Yes, the square root of 25 is 5. Now we'll look into the importance of commands in Python code, how they are used, and why they are crucial for writing clean and maintainable code. Let's get started. Commands in Python are non-executable lines of text that are used to provide explanations, notes, or documentations within the code. They are ignored by the Python interpreter and have no impact on program's executions. However, they play a vital role in making the code more understandable to other programmers. So, this is a single line command which can be written through the hash. Then, this is a multi-line command. It can span multiple lines and is enclosed within triple quotes. So, this is the commands in Python. Single line commands in Python start with the hash symbol and continue until the end of the line. They are typically used for short explanations or notes about specific lines of codes. Here's an example that we have seen earlier. And multiple line commands in Python are enclosed within triple quotes. They can span multiple lines and are often used for longer explanations, documentations, strings. Multiple line commands in Python are enclosed within triple quotes. They can span multiple lines and are often used for longer explanations, documentations, or commenting out blocks of codes temporarily. So that's all about today's video. Thanks everyone for watching.